Yo,
Can you hear me?
yes, I can. That's
Here
crazy.
we go.
Finally, that's sick.
Here we go. Fucking diving in. Oh my god. Hold on a second.
Nice one, nice one.
That was a process.
That was
Holy
crazy. That was some suspense, bro. I was like, I'll tell you what, yeah. When that last message came up, I was like, okay, this is just gonna be the same, and it was just like, no, we got it. I was like, fuck yeah. Cool.
All right, so we're dropping in, diving deep. This is AJ Remington, and this is the motherfucking Sit Down Podcast. And
Hey.
My guest today is a good friend of mine. He's from the UK. His name is Ben Nicholson, aka Bad Handwriting.
What's up, G? How you doing?
Pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Very, very good, thank you, dude. Yeah, man.
So starting
it's good to be here. It's good to be here. Real
oh
shit.
yeah, man. It was a fucking process getting this shit put together. To be honest,
Honestly,
only the people
for those who don't know, we've been
trying
trying to set this up for time as well. But it's great to finally be doing it. Trust me, man.
Yeah, it's just fucking golden. So yeah, just starting this off without doubt, I have a lot of fucking questions. That's just my thing. I got a lot of questions, a lot of shit I want to know.
Of course.
I'm gonna pick your brain, bro. I'm
gonna let you know. What's up.
And yeah, starting this off, it'd be fair to give everyone your name, where you're from, how old you are, and all that shit. What's your shit?
Okay, so my name is Ben Nicholson. My brand is called Bad Handwriting. I design garments. I create a lot of visual art. I'm trying to get into sort of video editing as well. I do a lot of Photoshop editing, a lot of photo editing, but I'm also trying to try a lot of new shit.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say? And essentially what I really want to become is someone who, almost like a Cole Bennett figure.
Okay, I got you.
Oh, and
yeah.
If you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But sort of in the same way that he's sort of become the go-to visual artist.
Right, which he has.
Of course, for music videos. I really want to almost become that for like everything else, album covers, for fucking just styling and shit.
Dude,
all this, and I want my brand to be worn by people who can really make a difference and shit, and lots of artists, rappers, all that.
Oh, dude, fuck yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a big dream, but
doable.
You know what I'm
it
saying?
Is all doable. Just to think of the possibilities.
Same for you, bro. Same for you. And it's all about just drive and shit, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's the passion. And honestly, if you think about it already, fucking, you already are doing that with me. You already.
It's crazy.
If you think about it, I'm just some fuckhead from California who's rapping and following his dream.
No, you're not.
And I'm wearing your shit, though.
Shut the fuck up, bro. Listen, this is it. I've found you, and you're this. You're just as talented, bro. It's about finding people and connecting with them, and
yeah, that's
sharing that energy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And inspiring each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
That's my point too. Is you may think it's a big dream, but you're already almost fulfilling that dream, because the likeness of us meeting, and we have.
Yeah.
And it's awesome, man. I like to see that. I like to see people that have the dream, that have that goal, and then they already kind of get into it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. But I think it's you can't do it alone as well. It's all about discovering other artists who are also doing the same thing, and they come up together.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the way that I don't think it's so rare for someone to be able to make it in whatever industry they're trying to sort of explore, but on their own. I think a lot of it is about kind of collaboration.
Oh, big time, and that's something I've definitely learned along my way in my beginnings. At first I was just by myself, just doing me. But really, when it counts and when it makes a difference is when there's other people involved as well. You can't do everything by yourself,
Exactly the same with me, man. can I ask what time? Like, can I ask like, how many years ago did you like get into like your art and shit, and kind of what inspired you to like start as well?
So let's see. Well, for me, and for all your listeners that may not know, a lot of people know at this point for me, because I like honestly, I bug the shit out of my people. But for me, like,
hey, no, it's what you gotta do. It's what you gotta do.
For me, what started everything for me, I think I've always relatively been into music, but like the real epiphany moment was the moment my older brother introduced me to Mac Miller.
Right.
And I was It was around. I was like 11 or 12 years old, and
wow, that's crazy. That's a while ago. Then yeah.
Oh yeah, game changer. I just remember seeing him, what he was doing, and I really looked up to it, and the certain way that he had done it.
That's sick, man.
And he was just relatable and just a likable person. And
what made it about what about his style really sort of connected with you?
I just think the independent, like I'm a kid, but like I'm a teenager doing my own thing, and you know it appealed to me. It appealed to me because I was a young kid.
Yeah,
watching him do it just kind of made me feel like, okay, I could do that too. You know, like
that's crazy. And like what that must have been, because I'm familiar, but I'm not that familiar with like sort of his like artistic kind of journey and shit. Like around what time, like around what album was like that happening?
Oof. So at this time, it wasn't even.
Quiz you.
He didn't even have an album out by the time I had found I found out about him. He was
really.
He still had. It was like his mixtape Kids.
Yeah.
It was a acronym for Kicking Incredibly Dope Shit, and it came out in I think it was 2010 or so.
Wow.
And I had found out about him like a little bit afterwards, but yeah, he didn't have an album out. He just had mixtapes out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy.
It was a while ago, like almost 10 years ago.
That's it. And so you must have like, shit, man. I'm sorry. I realize now, like you must have like reconnected with him and just like, was he would you like pin him down as like always your like total artistic sort of kind of benchmark of like where you want to like reach as well, and the kind of impact you want to make?
I'd say like in the terms of like following his footsteps, in the sense that like trying to be in a similar category, I'd say maybe so, but I'd say more of the less like I look at him in terms of like lyrical inspiration, or just kind of like more like lyrical and sounds in the sense. But you know, he always be like my top like favorites for sure as far as like music goes. He was just overall good person too outside of music, and that's why I looked up to him. I'd say he'd be someone just on a more human level, like I just
that you can connect to.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really important, isn't it? Because like I think art, of course, is the quality of your art that you produce is very important, but like you also sort of need to like I guess be able to connect with the artist that you're sort of kind of recording with and or like not recording with, but
just
you're
kind of like
you're
into
and consuming. It's all about personality at the same time, I think.
Yeah, which it's crazy because everyone that's in the music or just in general, like celebrities and stuff, like everyone, there's all different types of personalities out there. And whether someone's really down to earth and you like them for being really kind and they're cool, and then you got
people who are like
dickheads,
super loud
like them and shit. Like,
yeah. I mean, no question. It's like something which I don't know. I did a lot of like research and shit into sort of branding and shit like that, and what makes an artist like really, what makes people connect to them. And sometimes it can be like the weirdest shit. Like sometimes it can be their personality, but their personality is like half of them is like one half of them is insane, and the other half of them is saying like really, you know, like you know what I'm trying to say, and like kind of weird shit like that. But just and like it's saying like really like inspirational shit. But then that whole like in a way like Kanye and shit.
Yeah, like Kanye,
like doing crazy shit. But then the other side of them is like really inspirational.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
You ever heard of that band? It's called Van Halen.
Yeah.
So it's funny that you're saying this right now. Like as far as like artists that have like almost like two sides to them, where it's like one half you're like a big fan of, and the other side, it's kind of crazy, but you tolerate it.
Right.
I just started to kind of like, I like a few songs by Van Halen, like 2 songs, Panama Night and Jump.
I got to check them out.
They're just fun, fucking fuck off kind of songs,
like like bangers, but
bangers
like
in the 80s. Like
I fuck with that. Yeah.
Anyone here is listening, they fucking know what I'm talking about. Like everyone in California's got that little like fucking 80s vibe that they like, so.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah.
The singer, his name is David Lee
That's
Roth. Mad. And he's fucking, what you guys would say in the UK, he's fucking mad. Like, he's just outside of him that he'll be real and inspirational.
Fucking mad.
He'll tell you shit.
Cool.
And the other side, he's fucking cuckoo, man. He's crazy. But it's just, it reminds me of like Kanye in a way.
Yeah. It's because you sort of, it just draws people in that like that dichotomy of like these two sides of someone who's just kind of crazy but also inspirational. There's something to it and shit.
Yeah, and then you get the out there say like you kind of need that.
Yeah, no, exactly. Oh shit, there's so many things, bro.
So here's a good question.
And like,
what's up?
Yeah.
No, go ahead, man.
No, yeah, you go, man. You go.
Okay, so you were saying when we first started, you were saying that one of your like inspirations was Cole Bennett.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, real shit.
So would you say like you're like top inspiration, like that's your like mega go to when you're like putting something together?
Yeah, I would. I mean, he's just, to me, like he's. Yeah, if I'm gonna talk for a little bit now, yeah. Because,
yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, like, so basically, for a long time, I knew I wanted to go down like a lane of art, like artistic expression and shit.
Right.
In whatever capacity, like it might be. I used to be into comics for a very long time. Okay. I used to be like, when I was like, until about literally 2 years ago, I was big into fucking like drawing comics and shit, and I thought I was gonna make the first like, in like so long, the first kind of gritty black and white like British comic, which like everyone would be like really like everyone like in my like town and shit and in London would really like fuck with, and it would be like a really underground thing.
That's badass, man.
Yeah, man. I knew.
Shit.
Thanks, man. Yeah, real shit. Like, what do you like? Which ones do you fuck with?
Bro, back in the day, was you ever heard of Judge Dredd?
Yo.
When I was a kid, Judge Dredd was the shit, and then
fucking crazy. Yeah.
Fucking like obviously Marvel.
When you're a kid, that's crazy because Judge Dredd is kind of fucked up.
What's that?
Judge Dredd is Judge fucking Dredd is a bit like it's a bit screwed up. G. I like it though if you're a kid just like reading about all this like really bloodthirsty shit.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. It was fucking crazy growing up reading those shits because I was like, holy shit, but it was dope as fuck. And it made me who I am,
Of course. Me too. I used to be really into that. Literally, actually, into that kind of shit, like into Judge Dredd, V for Vendetta, and like all this kind of thing. I knew I wanted to do something, just do something different.
Right.
Because I thought that I thought a lot of visual artists really don't like, I don't know. They don't sort of think about things in a very conceptual way. Like I used to think like, why aren't there people like Andy Warhol and shit? Why aren't there like anymore? You know what I'm saying? Like why was that shit like 20 years ago or something?
Right.
Or like 30 years ago. And you don't have anything close to that anymore. And then, and I knew that I wanted to be on that level of sort of artistic expression.
Right.
But then, sort of Cole Bennett comes along and people like him, and sort of changed the way that people see visual art and kind of using an eye to actually like using a visual perspective to actually have a bit of
right,
kind of, you know what I'm trying to say, like
and
a bit of impact.
And like he really did change the fucking he honestly, in my perspective, like what I see of Cole Bennett is he really just brought the music video visuals like back to life.
Yeah, you think it was like it wasn't before that? It wasn't like really popping that much.
If you think about it, if you go back to the 1980s, 90s, MTV, you know, we had MTV and that was the shit back then. You know, if you had a single and you were a band or you were rap, because rap was coming out in the 80s, you would have a music video to go along with your single. And that was kind of the shit. You know, we didn't have Spotify.
You'd be fucking like so excited if you got featured on MTV.
Exactly. Like that was the shit. It was like YouTube, but on TV. And that's all people had back then was TV. Yeah. And if you weren't listening to the song, you were seeing it on television. So that was the shit.
Crazy.
And all the music videos, if you go back, whether that's the Beastie Boys, the Run DMC, LL Cool J, and rap music, like the videos are very creative. They have like a little bit of story or they're just funny. But
yeah. Of course not. It's like
over the years they lost that touch to videos as far as like the 2000s and 2010s.
Yeah, man, I get you. It kind of lost its like it kind of lost its charm in a way, right?
Yeah, lost its charm, lost its meaning and shit. So
yeah, I think I get you. I didn't think about it like that.
And I think that's why I fucked with Mac Miller when I started getting real into him. As far as like his career.
But you saw him as like a sort of a person who kind of was like bringing back that charm and wit,
yeah, exactly. Because if anyone who knows Mac Miller's discography or whatever, him and his director, who I know his name is Rex Arrowwood. He or his name was Arrow, whatever. Rex Arrow.
Yeah.
The videos from whether it was from his album Blue Slide Park up until his last album, you know, those videos, if you go back and watch all those videos, it was like something you were not seeing at that time. He was, to me, in my opinion, he was one of the only people around like early 2010s that were fucking actually visually bringing something to the table and like, having some sort of symbolism or like meaning behind it. And it was real cool.
That's sick.
And that's what I see with Cole Bennett, you know.
Right, no. And it's crazy because obviously he did Cole Bennett directed that video for Learn How to Watch with Mac as well.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy. But do you have like a favorite video from that like that era which like you reconnect with, and could you like describe it? Because you know, for me as well, like trying to get into like video editing as well, like what is there like a particular video that stands out to you
as far as like Mac Miller or like
as well, just so I can look for inspiration as well, man?
So I'd say as far as Mac Miller and a video I can go off the top with, I'd say there's two. I'd say one of them definitely off the top is this song that's called I Am Who I Am, Killing Time. And that's from his that's from watching movies with the sound off. And I think that was his second album. And the video just is fucking crazy. I just love that video where it's like
what's the vibe?
It's just super like mellow, kind of like mellow, but like fucking introspective as fuck, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Like very reflective as well. There's that video.
I like that.
And I'm pretty sure there's this one video as well. It's called One Last Thing. That's a fucking really good video. That song's kind of the same tone as well. It's like very deep, very like reflective in a way. I love that.
Yeah.
That video though, it just on some other shit, on another level.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
I would say that like before Cole Bennett, before he kind of brought everything back to life, I'd say Mac Miller was like making the most dope videos at the time.
That's crazy because that's what I'm saying. Also, like, it's not just the let's say a rapper like Mac Miller. It's not just the art that's so important. It's kind of the image and the way people see him. Like not only through his personality as well, but through the videos, through the how you build your like the way people see you. And obviously, like he must have had that.
Yeah, that touch,
like really,
that.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I got the impression that Mac was someone who sort of balanced that between being like kind of loud and like a bit obnoxious, but at the same time, like also being like, you know, like introspective, and like people can sort of connect with him like that as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's why he appealed to so many people, is because of that, you know, like those, you know, two sides to him. Like, you know, he could be hyped up and, you know, make a banger ass track and everyone's fucking at the club, but then he could kind of tone it down and be very mellow and make you kind of reflect, think about shit, you know? That's why I loved him, man. He was like one of my heroes.
That's crazy. Did you ever see him live?
I didn't, and that's what fucked me up when he passed.
I'm sorry. Yo, that's fucked up, man.
Yeah, I didn't say this in the last podcast I did with a friend of mine, Shinji Hidenaka. I was at the fucking DMV. I was trying to get me my fucking permit so I could drive.
Right.
And I was in there.
I
seen it pop up on my Instagram. And there's a friend of mine. I'm pretty sure he knows who he is, but I won't say his name. But I remember I just seen him comment on a post, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Nah." I thought they were joking. Go on. Safari, and shit. And it was real.
That's fucked.
And I remember I remember I was just listening to him the other day before that, and I was just fucked up. I just bailed on the whole operation. I was like, man, fuck the DMV. I don't want to drive, man. I just want to go home. Right.
It just took you out of it completely. You were just like, no, fuck this.
And that was like the first time in my life I've experienced that. Like,
wow. Oh, fuck, man. The way you like, you said, oh, you know, you've been so into him for so long as well. That must have been fucking horrible.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all low and it's better, but
that's crazy.
Here's some questions. I'm gonna kind of segue into this.
Nice. Yeah.
So, all right. So this is where my curious side pops up. Like,
yeah. Let's go.
So tell me, man. I'm pretty sure everyone that follows me and listens and I've been hyping this shit up. Like,
of course.
What is it like over there, man? What's it like in the UK? Like, what was it like growing up over there? You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. So London's a big, like a big place. It feels that way because like you sort of have like in the middle you have all this like crazy shit. You have like Oxford Street, you know, like Leicester Square. This like big, and these big sort of huge long roads full of like shopping, like a bit like New York,
right.
That kind of vibe. You know, but it's a very like diverse place, and there's a lot of like kind of different kinds of people and shit. But one thing which I'm really like thankful for about growing up here is that like it's really like a city with a lot of personality.
Okay.
And a lot of and like it's not very nice in some places, but like it's always got that sort of that feeling like, oh yeah, I'm a Londoner, like I know my city, and I don't know. Some parts of it I really fuck with, and some parts of it I don't. But you can't like take it out of you.
Right,
you know
exactly. Would you say that? Would you say your city, your fucking hometown, like, would you say that that's had any impact on your art?
An impact. Yeah, in some ways. Actually, more recently than not, because I've sort of until recently I took inspiration from a lot of literally just a lot, pretty much just artists from the US, you know, like people like Tyler, people like Frank Ocean.
Okay, yeah.
You know, and you know, yeah, guys actually literally from California as well. That's although crazy. People like ASAP Rocky as well, but like yeah,
ASAP,
a lot, yeah, man, trust, like kind of actually to be fair, like all over the
That's
US,
crazy
but
to say that.
These guys, yeah, man, like definitely.
Yeah, we're like it's funny because we're from opposite side of the fucking pond, and we're getting
genuinely that must be weird to think. If trust, like genuinely, I don't know. For a while, I was like, all this UK like for a while, like grime and shit, grime music, which is kind of for like, I think everyone pretty much knows, but it's like it's like
describe that.
Yeah, it's like rap, it's like hip hop, but it's more sort of usually over like garage beats, so over kind of beats with like a faster BPM.
Okay.
and just it's a lot more fast style of rapping.
It's fucking crazy. It's like fast paced, and it's kind of like your guys' version of like trap anyway.
Yeah, no, exactly right. It's like it's definitely like what's really hot like in South London and North London. Like people really, it's like a very sort of enclosed game, but like people are always building, people are always trying to get to the top of that little sort of hierarchy in London. And it's sick though, like it produces a lot of really fucking like insane talent, like people who can rap like fucking fast as well, and like they got some like dirty bars and shit.
So that's why when I heard your buddy fucking Love Child, when I heard him, I was like, holy shit, like he's got a fucking blow on him, you know? and that's what intrigued me about him. Is like, you know, I'm aware a little bit of artists.
I'll pass that on, man.
But then I heard him, and I was like, this is fucking crazy shit. Like I gotta fucking work with this guy.
It's
like
crazy.
I want to be able to have that on my belt.
That's really exciting to me. I mean, and what's interesting about him as well is he like me, he was also like me and him. Basically, me and him used to like just pretty much just like to start, like, you know, obviously like to talk about him for a little bit. Like he's like kind of like you, man. He's one of my like obviously one of my like artistic collaborators as well. And but yeah, he's been like a buddy of mine since we were like 10 or some shit.
Fuck yeah.
And it was real shit. But like he was like, we used to just like fucking chill and listen to like literally just like Tyler the Creator. Like we really fucked with like all this Flower Boy and stuff like that.
That was a good album.
Real shit. And like, but then, so that was literally, we took most of our inspiration from the kind of Odd Future aesthetics and the way it looked, the way they sort of directed their music videos. I used to be, what really
staple
fucking
hip hop for sure right there.
Yeah, exactly. And then for me as well, like going on to like Brockhampton and shit like that, like really kind of inspired me. Sort of the way like my art looked and shit, even just that nostalgic feeling.
That's some pretty that's an interesting group. I really like the way they approached their group, like the way there's fucking like, I don't even know how many of them. There's like fucking 12 of those motherfuckers, and
real shit. There's too fucking many. There's too many of them, bro. But they all like the way that they all like came together. I mean, obviously it's like it's only just like a continuation of what and a refinement of what Odd Future did. But the way they like all like collaborated and created this feeling that people can connect to was really fucking cool to me. And has kind of inspired me to like sort of get together in the works, like my own little thing, without going into too much detail because it's kind of a secret right now. But
no spoilers on the podcast.
But like,
I got you.
Yeah, I would. It'll be out in a few months anyway.
We'll get you back on and we'll talk about it then.
Yeah, real shit, of course. But like the way they sort of managed to create this like feeling which people can connect with and shit was like really cool to me. Yeah, man. But like going back to that whole like grime thing, Ollie. Well,
no, you can say his real name. Fuck it, like it's all good.
Yeah. Of course. Love Child, right? He like his vibe was really in terms of rapping and shit was like really like it's just inspired by people like just very like inspired by people like X and shit and stuff like that, because just their flows were way more sort of interesting to him than any of the grime artists that we have here.
That's crazy to hear that you guys have like the influences from over here, because if anything, honestly, for me, like I mean, don't get me wrong, I do get my influences from shit
from the UK
that's here,
but
a lot from the UK. You would be surprised. The fucking shit I'll tell you in a minute.
Really? That's crazy. I'll let you finish your
some
thought,
examples, but I'll fucking tell you some shit. You'd be like, what the fuck?
Real shit. That's crazy. Okay, yeah, let's go, man. Let's go. There's a few people here who I'm like, if you got inspiration from them, like there's some. I'm not gonna lie, there's some corny artists in the UK, bro.
Nah, I'll tell you right
But
now.
I get you. That's sick. That's sick. But like going back to that, like the way my friend flowed was like really inspired by people like X. It wasn't inspired by the flows of any grime artist because it was just like too fast. We didn't really fuck with like the way it sounded necessarily.
Right.
Until, and what's interesting is that, and if you listen to some of his old stuff, it's like really, it's kind of like slow BPM, just like more kind of relaxed, vibey shit.
Right.
Until recently, we sort of both started to look at London and see how exactly we can sort of update our brands, because ultimately, I think that you kind of have to build your scene a little bit in your own little, like in the place where you
your surroundings
are recording. Yeah, exactly, your surroundings, of course. And like, and I was like, okay, shit. So obviously, I'm building this following online and shit, but
right.
I'm really interested in kind of like meeting people from the underground fashion scene in London,
which is very smart. Yeah.
Thanks, man. Yeah. So I was like, okay, how can I do that? And I started just looking at my own city and looking at the people who are kind of doing bits, which is like a British, like London slang word for like kind of just like making waves and shit.
What is it? What is the term? What is the term? Hold on.
It's called doing bits.
Bits.
It's fucking weird. Yeah. We said, oh yeah, you're doing bits, mate. Like you're you're like just like you're doing well. Like you're like what would you say? I don't know. You're just like killing it or some shit.
Like over here, like how we say it over here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna fucking start using that. Fuck it. Fuck the waves.
Yeah, man. Drop it. Just say doing bits. People might look at you like, but then you should be like, oh yeah, just Ben told me it's okay.
Exactly. Fucking certified bits.
Always come to me if you need some weird like London slang.
Yeah, let's get it.
But yes, so we were looking at okay, so we're looking at London, and we were thinking, okay, who's really doing it good over here, and how are they doing it? And that kind of, I started to take that inspiration, and thought about how I can sort of improve the way like my brand works and shit.
Right.
Through sort of taking that inspiration from other people, and that kind of led to the development of the lookbook.
Right.
And like thinking, okay, so what would be really sick is if I like took my mates from London and took people and like got in contact with models and shit from London to be involved in it. Yeah, and like so I took basically that lookbook is it's a mixture of like random fucking like models who were sort of like, you know, kind of popular in like my little area,
right?
And also just mates of mine and shit who wanted to be involved. But
yeah, which turned out fucking awesome, man. Like I really give you the credit. Like I respect that lookbook. Like for the people that are listening to follow me, go to this motherfucker's channel. Like go to his account because I've been putting his shit up on my account. You got to check out his art, and his lookbook is fucking awesome.
I really, really appreciate that, bro. Thank you. Yeah. No, it's just something I put a lot of like a few months effort into and shit. So I really appreciate that, man. And thanks to people like you, bro. Like it really it did far fucking better than I thought it would. If I'm honest, yeah, like
you did a good job on that.
Really. Thanks to you. Like it reached the top of like a couple of hashtags and shit. So
yeah, I've seen that. It was on the top of London hashtag for.
Yeah, like London streetwear.
Yeah.
I was like shit. But that was really sick. But yeah, no, I kind of took that inspiration from London. I sort of tried to repurpose it in my own lookbook and shit. So that's kind of how that inspiration happened. But also talking about the grime side of it, about the rap side of it, there's just definitely a lot of like differences and shit between trap music, like hip hop,
right? Yeah, definitely,
and grime. you have big artists over here like Skepta, Stormzy, Jeremy.
Yeah, Skepta's the
Wiley.
one that has that joint with ASAP, right? On Praise the Lord, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that shit is hard as well.
Fuck
I
yeah.
heard that.
That song is.
I love that
I
shit.
love that song. Everyone over here, that's like all that everyone plays over here.
That's no. That's what's so lit, yeah. Is they play it over here too. They just everyone fucks with that shit over here. It's like a bang. You go to any party and they're like when Praise the Lord comes on, like people just like cause a giant fucking mosh pit as well. It's sick.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But like that's what I think is like really interesting is that a certain I just remember what I was saying before is that I think there'll be a change. There'll be like a big like sea change in like hip hop for both the UK and America when like grime artists and when grime artists and like just like trap artists start when parts of like those musical traits like come together,
right? Which
there'll be like a big and like literally in a song like Praise the Lord. I think if there was more songs like Praise the Lord out there and shit, like it would just be really interesting to see because there's not a lot of like you don't see a lot of like crossover between like big grime artists in London and like fucking just like
artists from out here in the US.
Which is like people. Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting you say that because I mean, fuck it. I might as well just say it now. I mean, that's basically what me and Love Child are trying to do.
Yeah, real shit, man.
Which is crazy. I haven't said shit about it, but basically, we're working on something right now.
Drop it. Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. I'm really, really happy about that because like it's all part of like the fucking. It's all part of like
just doing this shit. You know what I mean? Like just doing it and getting together and like fucking two heads are always better than one. I always say that.
I think as well. You know what? I just literally this thought just occurred to me. I don't know why I didn't think about this before, but like, look at like what we're doing, like the way that I'm like designing covers for you and shit, bro. All this like, we are already bringing together like kind of the US and like Britain and shit, and sort of like bridging that gap as well.
Band of Brothers.
And it's like doing something. It's like of course.
I like grew up loving the shit out of Britain. Like that's my thing. Which is funny that like I was gonna say like
which artist?
Segueing into this, what I was gonna say is like I could tell you like no doubt. I mean I've grown up accustomed to like all the shit that's from here, Nirvana, all rock and fucking hip hop.
Fucking love Nirvana, yeah.
But you'd be surprised that like I've been influenced by a shit ton of stuff that's from the UK and Europe and all that, which is like it's just funny when I hear you say like, okay, like, oh yeah, like, I'm influenced by Tyler and Frank and fucking, ASAP, and the same thing with Love Child. You guys were bumping Tyler the Creator back in the day, and it's like for me, I fucking grew up. Anyone can say this in fucking America, but like I have more than just this. Is I grew up on the Beatles, like that.
Wow,
that was my shit.
Yeah.
And like to this day, I have a fucking book that I'm looking at right now. Basically a book that's behind every song,
Really,
lyrically.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Because that's fucked up.
Life.
That fucks me up. I was my dad loves the Beatles, and I fucking like anytime there was a huge like car journey and shit, we'd always just listen to that shit. So that's crazy.
Yeah, man, I love everything they ever made, and like they influence a lot of my lyrics. If anything, like I look up to I look up to them.
That's mad. I love that. That's like a different kind of inspiration as well. That's like for like a rapper as well. Like that's a different kind of inspiration. But I fuck with it though.
Yeah, that's the thing that's kind of unknown about me. I never really comment or say too much about is that a lot of my closer friends know is like a lot of what inspires me isn't even rap, like necessarily rap. Almost 80% of the time.
Really. 80%. Shit. Okay. Wow.
And I'd say like, in terms of the attitude, in terms of attitude, in terms of artistic, like, in terms of art, in terms of like, all that just comes from shit that I've gotten influence from like rock and punk rock.
Wow.
And like, just shit that's not related to rap or just movies as well. Like just characters from movies. Like lot of it,
that's sick.
A lot of it is just shit I've gotten outside from hip hop itself. But I mean, if there's another brand that I've like that's my shit. Like that's my go-to for almost 90% of my influence is fucking Oasis.
Really?
And like,
yo, it's
that's
crazy.
like one of my favorite
so crazy
fucking bands of all time, right there. Anyone
sick,
who's close to me knows this shit because that's all I talk
about. Really? That's crazy. No, I fuck with that.
Man.
Oasis.
The first two albums
I love
are like
Oasis.
the fucking shit, and I know how popular they fucking are over there in the UK to this day.
No. People will absolutely love fucking Noel and Liam, like Gallagher and shit. Because everyone fucking loves them. It's like national treasure shit. But like, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me that you like that. That you fuck with that and like that inspires you. That's different as well. That's pretty sick.
And that influences a lot of my shit. I mean, Oasis single-handedly they've influenced a lot of shit. And I mean, you know about one of my singles that I've sent you that you did the artwork for. I'm not gonna say the title, but that's literally an Oasis song title.
Yo, yeah.
And
that's crazy, man. That's fucked. That's so sick.
And the intro is actually Liam and Noel talking.
Yeah.
So it's like,
wow,
a lot of that shit. I mean, as far as past those two bands, I mean, I'd say those are huge ones that I've want to go over there and visit fucking Manchester, Liverpool. Always made me want to go to London as well.
These places, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a sick song, by the way. I fuck with that.
People don't even fucking know about that shit yet. It's
that's sick though. No. I'm glad I fucked with you, like getting people into this this music that is like really it's like rich. That's the thing about Oasis, that like the music is like really like like Don't Look Back in Anger and shit. It's all just like really just like heart, just like so much heart to it and shit, man.
Yeah, and then it's just something about the lyrics that just hits you. You know what I mean? Like Don't Look Back in Anger is like. That's like one of my favorite songs of all time in general. Like all music, that's like one of my like definitely maybe their first album and their second album. What's the Story? Is like I have those two records in my room and like I listen to those every single fucking day. That's like my shit.
That's sick, man. That's so sick.
And just the attitude as well. Like the attitude of that band is kind of what makes me thrive. You know what I mean? Like.
Really?
That's what gets
it just keeps you fucking driven. Yeah, man. No, there's this fucking speaking of like stages and that, like there's this have you seen this fucking documentary called Supersonic, I think it's called?
Oh fucking God, man. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
I'll put it right here on the line and anyone could fucking remember this shit forever.
Let's go. Yeah.
If it weren't for that fucking documentary, I would have never got back into music ever, because there was a certain period of time,
really,
which I'm pretty sure like there's a couple good friends of mine that know this, that like I stopped making music for like a fucking year.
Really,
just in this really bad relationship that kind of put everything to a halt. And I remember one day, I just remember hearing about the buzz about Supersonic. The documentary coming out, and I remember I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna buy this shit on YouTube. It was like a little bit after it had come out,
and it just sent you back, right? It just sucked you back in.
It woke me up essentially. I remember
that's crazy.
Watched it.
That's crazy.
And it just hit my fucking soul. I remember going in the bathroom, looked in the mirror, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing right now? Like, what am I becoming? I need to go back to music. Like, it made me fucking like itch for it. I was just like, dude, what am I doing? Just flipped my whole perspective, and it kind of just woke me up. And it's thanks to that movie that it kind of just put me back on the tracks.
Yeah. That's crazy. Like, it kind of, when someone can hit you like put like perfect on a piece of art, can like hit you like perfectly like that. It can really just send you almost into like, you know, almost like a tunnel vision state where it's like no, this is everything now. Like this is all I can do. This is all I can focus on.
Exactly.
Real shit. It's amazing. It's beautiful.
And that's exactly what I seen through that band. And like, you know, with Liam's perspective and Noel's perspective is that like, and his name's Paul Arthurs, but everyone calls him Bonehead. Like, is all three of them single-handedly, they all had the same like outlook on music and just what it was about. And it was just about the passion. It was about just whether that was just, you know, in a van and you were driving all the way up fucking state or whatever. It's like, that's the shit, you know, like that was what meant a lot to them. And it reminded me how much that meant to me. And that's kind of what woke me up from all that shit, all the bullshit I was going through, nonsense.
Yeah, no, of course, no. It's good. Once you sort of kind of, I don't know, like leave that, just move on from that, and then just like you have that incredible like clarity.
Exactly.
It can be a really amazing thing.
Yeah, once you tap into that, you're almost unstoppable, really. Yeah,
honestly, like that's the thing. Like I think that's the thing. Because you want it so fucking bad is like that's what I don't know. I can't remember which Gallagher it was. I think it might have been Liam, I think. But it's when he's saying about performing and like singing in front of all these people, he's like the feeling of like, and that's the thing. As me, I mean, maybe I'll just like,
I know exactly.
I'll never kind of. Yeah, real shit like that. I just remember that bit like really stood out to me when I watched it. It's like a black and white cliff and shit of like all these like hundreds of fucking thousands of people, and him like singing on stage, and he's like this feeling of singing in front of thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people is just like there's fucking nothing like it. It's just like heaven. Like it's like the best thing, the best possible fucking thing that like you can ever feel and shit.
Exactly.
And I was like, yo, that's insane. And that kind of I think what's mad is that also kind of stuck with me, even though like I'm not really a performer like that. I just fucking love like it's like the idea of like inspiring other people and shit to sort of
get
go and do the same thing.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly. Because so many people like, yeah, exactly, man. It can be crazy, like shit. You know, shit can sort of come in the way, relationships, whatever, like, or just something just crazy happening in your life that it can come, and then it's sort of like, or something just like things just slow down a little bit. You stop like working on your art, and it just like stops. But if you can like fucking get back up and like keep working, like, and keep grinding on that shit, it'll come to you.
Exactly.
If you push hard enough for it.
Exactly. And like that's why I feel like to this day I feel like I owe both of them that. It just woke me up. Like I just remember like, fuck man, I have no music out, like no one gives a shit anymore, like I'm fucking nobody now.
Yeah.
And then I remember seeing that, and I just gave me like hope, you know. And I was like,
wow,
there's I could just pick this shit back up and just go for it. Like this is really what I want to do. This is really what I see myself doing forever until the end. You know, it's like, fuck it.
That's crazy.
And that's the thing with the band too, is like the attitude is what also drove me, because it was like there was a point in my life where I just gave too much of a fuck. In the sense that I cared what people say,
of course.
I cared what people thought or whatever, and it's like, I see Liam. Anyone who knows Liam Gallagher,
Liam Gallagher does not give a single shit.
Doesn't give a fuck. And I remember I was like, that I need to adapt into that, because
of course.
I need to fucking make this shit happen. And when I stopped giving a fuck, and I didn't really like. You guys say over there is like the bollocks. Like I don't give a fuck. Like all that bullshit. I'm gonna do my thing. That's when that's when life became 100 times better. Just 100% tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Like I see where I'm going with my music. Fuck everything else. That's it. Like
that's crazy. Honestly,
to this day, it still drives me.
That fucking puts a big grin on my face, dude. That's some inspiring shit. No, genuinely, like I'm just thinking about like this, like I don't know, just. Maybe I get too fucking like excited.
No,
and shit, but, like, I do feel.
You don't even know I'm over here fucking just like
buzzing and shit. Like, because it's just like it just gasses me up. Like it's like just the idea that like like it will happen. Like if you start thinking about it like that fucking clearly, or like that like intensely, that you just believe in it so strongly,
That's the law of attraction, man.
Yeah, man, exactly. And like,
a lot of people don't know about that shit either.
Yeah, law of attraction. Like, I don't know. If I'm honest, like, that's like when by that you mean like, well, just like the energy you put out into the world, it will come back to you.
Yeah, like what that means to me, it comes from what I found, like who was talking about this that kind of put me onto this. It was Conor McGregor, and basically, you just whatever you feed into your mind, whatever you're telling yourself every day about your dream, your passion, it's also, it goes hand in hand. It's not just I'm gonna think about becoming famous someday and I'm gonna become famous. Like it's a hand in hand between of what you're thinking about and what you're telling yourself, your confidence, and then the actions you're taking toward that.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you wake up every morning, you're telling yourself, man, all right, today's the day. Like I'm the fucking shit. I'm number one or whatever. And you go do what you need to do that relates to that.
Yeah.
It's the law of attraction. Like it's gonna happen. It will.
That's
happen.
Yeah. Of course.
I'm gonna send you a video right after this. I'm gonna send you a video of Conor McGregor talking about it.
I appreciate that.
And you'll see what I'm talking about. You would be like, fuck, like fired up. Like that's.
Conor McGregor is a fucking boss. Yeah. I get you.
That's like one of my idols right there.
That's crazy. Yeah. I get it now why you really fuck with the UK, bro. Yeah.
It's just the attitude, man, and it goes beyond Oasis. It goes beyond the Beatles. You got the fucking Sex Pistols as well.
Yeah, I remember I heard a Sex Pistols songs in one of your videos as well, and I was like, oh shit, yeah.
Because
that's sick.
The thing about the Sex Pistols is the fucking attitude in punk rock as well. It's just like punk rock in general as well, because it stems out over here as well, like with bands like
you have artists Black Flag and shit.
Yeah, like Black Flag, especially one of those, because
speaking of which, side note, I saw that you fucked with that you saw like Henry Rollins live and shit.
Right. Yeah, last October. Yeah,
I saw that. That's sick.
He's like one of my idols right there for sure too.
Someone who I really recently like started fucking with as well. I just started just watching him, and it's weird. There are these people who I sort of discover in that, and I watch them. I'm like, I guess you must Conor McGregor as well must be one of them. But like, you watch them and you're just like, yo, you're gonna be like sort of a guidance figure,
right?
Exactly. For me in terms of like what exactly how exactly I want to go about my shit.
Yeah, it's almost like a guide or just like some sort of mentor. You don't really know them, but they're there, and they're where they're kind of like necessarily like almost in the position that you want to be, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Or they've got the mindset that you need to fix your head to.
Right, exactly. And that's, like it goes like, yeah, exactly, with Conor McGregor, Liam, or Henry Rollins, like all these people relatively are in that same realm, and like that, as soon as I tapped into that, that's when my life changed. A lot of people don't know about
that's sick. That's sick to me, like as well, like the way, like, yeah, man, you come down to the UK sometime, like genuinely, like it's
gonna happen.
It's sick. There's definitely no question. Like there's definitely a lot of like interesting like music, art, like all happening here. So, but that's sick. But at the same time, to me, that's so crazy to me, because I remember fucking being turned on to Frank Ocean by one of my friends before, like, and just like by these artists, like, literally from the US, genuinely,
right.
Like, fucking yeah, man. I don't know, and just sort of just being like really just inspired by them and kind of connecting with them, and just taking their like I don't know whether it's like taking their aesthetics or just their like the way they sort of approach their art and just like using that as an inspiration.
Right.
It's just really cool to me that fucking you're inspired by people over here and I'm inspired by people over there.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. Is like, that's crazy to think that like we're from different parts, but we're influenced by each other's fucking home. Yeah,
like home music, each other's like cultures and shit. It's crazy. No question, man. No question. That's why I like genuinely like my little brother, like, he's seen all these movies and shit about like about like Hollywood and all this shit, and like he loves like the idea of like LA and like California.
Oh shit.
And all this. Yeah. So like and like And me as well. I think like that place, like it just seems like a really. And I just feel this like the way that in a lot of art, like it's portrayed like as this like sunny like like place as well. It just seems like a real kind of like lit place to go visit as well.
Yeah, man. It's I'd say definitely with my experiences in LA, it's just super mellow, and it's like full of. I'd say definitely LA is full of a lot of cultures as well, as far as like Spanish culture, Asian culture, all these different kind of subculture and subgenres of shit there, and everyone there is very kind of like, I guess you could say like artsy, artistic, and like open-minded as well.
Sick. And you skater culture as well. Like, do you skate, bro?
Oh, skate? Like skateboarding?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's before music and all that. That's what I grew up on. Especially being from Southern California is like fucking skateboarding, and that was my shit. And I used to compete in skateboarding. That was like my whole deal until like turned until my epiphany.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You said that's crazy. Yeah, man. That's mad. And you. And you said that you had that. So you were like competing when you were like when you were way younger, like 10, and when about so you start getting into that?
It's like in the music and shit, like in general, or?
Oh, not actually into skating.
Oh yeah, I was skateboarding. Yeah, up until like maybe fucking like 11 for sure.
Wow.
Because I got injured, and I was just not any kind of injury, just a fucking big one. I was just like, fuck this. And then like I had my little shit with music, and I was just like, all right, well, it was good while it lasted,
Yeah, of course.
It's a very uncommon thing, but like this opinion might be fucking unappreciated.
Shoot it, bro. Shoot it. Let's go. Go.
Like I was talking to a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, the other day. We were just talking about this shit with skateboarding. Is like, skateboarding. It's a fucking great thing to get into, and the culture of skateboarding is great. I love skateboarding. Whether that's the professionals, they care. Like, there's so many fucking legends there. Just they're idols of mine as well that are in skateboarding as well. There's a lot of opportunity in it, but there's also like this other half of skateboarding where it's kind of like if you don't get sponsored or you're not like riding for a company, it's kind of dead end.
Okay, yeah.
And
I see.
There's I just seen it happen.
People will like devote so much to it.
Huh?
Really? Okay. People like devote so much to it as well.
Yeah, there's people that just they just don't get sponsored. They don't really go too far with it, and it's kind of dead end. And from there, it's just bad. It's just a bad little gateway into bad habits and shit. And I've seen that happen to a lot of friends of mine. A lot of like growing up, a lot of my friends were older than me. They were like my older brother's friends. And I just seen it happen to too many people. They just kind of slipped off the map, I guess you'd say.
That's crazy.
And it was just
that's crazy, man.
It was just kind of like, all right, I don't think this is for me, man. I obviously.
Wow. Okay. But that's crazy because you were like deep into it as well.
Right. I mean, I knew there's definitely a future in skateboarding. I'm not saying that there isn't, but definitely there's
some like places where like if you got you're saying like maybe if you sort of devoted too much time for it and it wasn't exactly like working out, it could be a bit like destructive and not destructive.
Yeah, like, definitely. There's a documentary that's actually about a skateboarder that's from the UK, and it's on Viceland on YouTube.
Oh shit!
And guy was really fucking good, and he was sponsored. He was actually already sponsored, so he had a career and a future with skateboarding, but just he got into drugs and it just fucked everything up. And then from there, I got nothing to fall back on, really.
Ah, shit. Okay, yeah. Fuck, man, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'll send you that too. Fuck, man, it's really good shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, that's sick. That's so mad to me. I've never like I don't know why. I mean, but like I don't think I've ever really heard that perspective before because last summer, I was trying to. Yeah, I was pretty much trying to start my own little but no, I don't know. Like, I was trying to start skateboarding with my friends, and like, and I got it, and I just got to like all this like cruising and shit, and like all of this, and it just I don't know, I never really saw it like thought like if you got too deep into it, like honestly, I guess people just like care about it so much. Like if you like really get good at it as well, like it's like I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna like learn all these tricks and shit, and it's just like I don't think I ever saw it like that intensely, but shit, bro.
Yeah, man. Over here, like in your perspective, it was kind of like for fun and shit.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the thing that's also great about it. It's just for fun. Like you could just hop on the fucking board, skate around, whatever. But there was people like over here, like that's the shit. Like that's people see that as careers and shit. And it's it's almost kind of like if you're lucky enough and if you're good enough and you know the right people, you go to the right skate parks and shit.
Right.
Definitely,
okay.
It's kind of like if you're lucky.
Yeah. Is that oh, sorry for the background noise and shit. I'm sorry.
No, are you good, man? Go ahead.
But like, yeah, no. Would you say that that like skating as well is kind of so sort of fashion coming to that as well? Like, I don't know. You get like I see all these like videos and shit. Kind of people like how like fashion, like clothing shit also like becomes part of skate culture and shit, and like also like brands like Supreme and that, it's all built out of like skater culture, like in New York as well.
Right.
And it's like it just seems sick to me, like how rich it gets, like how deep and rich like skater culture goes, especially like in Southern California as well. It's like it's crazy.
Yeah, definitely for Supreme, because Supreme originally was a skateboarding brand that was in New York in 1994, I believe, and that's their roots. Like a lot of people don't know that, and that's the thing that, in my opinion, is why I don't wear Supreme that much. Is because one, I'm broke as fuck. I mean, I can't afford that shit. The expenses of resale is crazy.
Same.
The thing is a lot of people that wear it don't understand it, and I don't want to be seen as those people that don't understand it, because there's a lot more to it than just a fucking high-end.
Yeah, exactly.
It comes from skateboarding, and it's almost offensive to people in the skateboarding culture over here. Definitely.
Right. No, I see. That's crazy. I didn't think about it like that. Yeah. There's one. I think it's on there. I think it's a skater brand. I might be like fucking embarrassing myself.
No, you're good, man. Go ahead.
But I think it's Palace. Yeah.
Bro, it's like I think so.
I might just be like, I might be wrong about
that. Fuck it. I'm Googling that shit right now.
Yo, get that. I'm about to be. Hang on. If it's
no, my computer's
skater brand or not.
Dumbass right now.
Hey, yo, no.
4 fucking tabs. Jesus Christ.
No, I think when you like tap it, it's like I tap it 4 times. I tap it like 6 times, and it's fucking like 6 tabs just open. Shit. It's like damn.
And then my computer is an HP, so it's a fucking piece of shit. Yeah, it is a skateboarding brand. I'm surprised I didn't know about Palace being a skateboarding brand, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't know. I mean, there's that's the thing. Like, there's this guy. Another sort of inspiration to me, in kind of the world that I'm trying to get into, like, you know, through the lookbook as well, like this whole sort of cool, like kind of underground London modeling, that kind of shit, is an artist called Blondie McCoy, and he is a skater from like South London, I think.
Okay.
And he like he's crazy, like he's there's this if you go to
I'm gonna look him up right now. What's his name again?
His name's Blondie McCoy.
Blondie McCoy?
Yeah. He's like an artist and also a model for Palace and shit. Yeah, nice. And he's there's just a lot of crazy videos of him like fucking I don't know, like he just skated like around the center of London, like he skated in, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out his stuff. I have him right here.
Fucking yeah, nice. Like there's a video, like a video which went kind of viral of him skating in like Oxford Street or something, and he gets fucking hit by a taxi.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Like he gets hit by a taxi and like fucking flies over the roof, and then just like gets up and just like fucking like he's like he's not even fucked up or anything. He just gets onto that skateboard and just like skates off into the camera. And it's just so weird, man. It's so weird.
Dude, that's the thing about skateboarders, man. They're like fucking Iron Man. Like once like to anyone who listens to this fucking
that's crazy.
skates,
You must have been like, you must be just like pretty chill with like
just getting
a lot of like
fucked up
crazy
on
shit
the
then,
norm,
just
like,
because. Yeah, man.
I remember that. Like you just get fucked up, eat mad shit on the ground, on asphalt or fucking concrete, rail, hit your fucking back, hit your shins. You get up, you're like, oh fucking man, I got like you just so the thing about skateboarding that I love, and this is why I love it, is the adrenaline.
You're right.
You
Yeah,
skate and you're fucking in that zone. You get fucked your shit up. You're good.
Yeah, no, I feel you. That's crazy. Like, I guess it takes a lot of fucking bravery as well, right?
No, yeah, fuck yeah, no doubt. Dude, I've seen people do some crazy shit, and to this day, I mean, fucking, there's people that do crazy shit, and at those moments I look back to what I used to do, and I'm like, I wasn't shit to that. Motherfucker would be like, there was just this Thrasher magazine cover, and it was this dude on these fucking water towers, and he did a gap.
Yeah.
Fucking, like a pretty good spaced gap for a cover, and I was like, these motherfuckers are crazy. Like I wouldn't.
That's insane. Yeah.
Love it, man. It's. I wouldn't say it's a sport, but it's fucking.
No, it's definitely a sport. Yeah, of course. Like it's it's like.
It's just.
It's fucking. It's honestly no. It's like a modern sport. It's like a new sport. It's like, of course, people are going to be kind of interested in, man. It's sick, bro. I think I would like to get into it more, but just like
for me,
part of me is like, yo, I could get screwed up by it, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I used to get fucked up. I think I got like permanently fucked up shins from that, but
oh really?
They just get sore at times. I just getting fucking hit by the deck, but I was gonna say
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like back into like the whole like. That's crazy though. Like you're even influenced by like skateboarding, because I mean skateboarding is international at this point, but
of course.
But as far as like you're talking about like Supreme and shit, like
there's a lot
of guys are influenced by all that.
No, it's mad to me. How sort of I don't know. I feel like I might be kind of unique in that. I don't think I am really, to be honest. That shit though, because. There's a lot of my friends are inspired by just artists from California, no question.
Yeah.
Just like the music that comes out of there is out of you guys is like it's sick, and it's almost like in London it's fucking it's barely ever sunny and shit, and like you get that sort of it's almost like you hear that and you're like, oh fuck, like I just wish I was in that place, and it's like. I mean, but there's kind of a beauty in how gritty some of London is and shit. Like, it's grey and it's dirty, but like, but it can breathe fucking. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's weird, isn't it? Because like, to you guys, maybe that's like, oh, that's different. That's like, that's fucking like that's sort of grimy in a way, but like in a sort of in a rich way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because like, when I hear like Oasis talking about fucking Britain and shit, I'm just like, man, this just sounds fucking badass. Like it just sounds like something I want to fucking be. The fucking the slang over there, just everything that goes on over there. It's great. Yeah. It's fucking like it's different over here.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love California. I love the States where it's just like especially in California, it's like sunny. It's always there's like you experience all four fucking seasons.
Right.
You get winter, you get spring, you get summer, you get fall.
Yeah.
And then like in between those seasons, like you're gonna kind of get almost everything as well at once.
That's crazy. Yeah.
People are mellow, but then people are dicks too. And
but that's part of it, isn't it? It's all part of like the way it is and shit. And it's just like breeding new talent all the time and shit.
Yeah.
Question, bro. When you go on tour and that, like, I fucking, I'll design some of the merch and shit, and we can just like hop on the tour bus and all this shit, bro. Yeah,
dude.
Like we say, just like travel Europe and shit as well.
Definitely would like. That's the thing with this thing is, that's the fucking fun of this is like knowing. Okay, this is going somewhere. Like, this is actually gonna fucking do something.
Of course.
I mean, just even this year, like, I'm trying to make a trip out to Japan to go do like events and shit with my friend Shunji, and his brand.
Nice.
ABP,
what kind of
and his message.
Yo, that's ABP. Okay, yeah, that's it. I don't know. If
I got link you guys up, man. I told them.
Yeah, real shit. No, I didn't know that. I saw that. I didn't know that you guys were that you were mates with like that brand, with the guy who directs that brand as well. That's fucking sick.
Yeah, I gotta put you guys together because like I told him about you, so
I'll hit up Shinji. Real shit. That's it.
Yeah. So I'm trying to go do that during the summer and try to just go and travel there into Japan and fucking go do events and shows over there. And then
that's wavy. Yeah,
that's the thing with the UK is like I know damn well I'll fucking go over there and we'll make some shit happening.
Yeah, man. You know, shit. Of course. And like it's crazy. Like, and you see that fucking what's mad is that UK crowds as well. Like we go ham. We go.
You motherfuckers
crazy.
Are crazy.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No.
I see like shit from. I know. I've done my fucking.
You
don't
know, man. We go off like.
You guys fucking even jump and like go.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
You need to go Reading Festival. As well. Reading Festival is like insane as well. And I fucking was there last year. Yeah. Glastonbury as well. It's fucking amazing. But like the energy, that's the thing about like UK festivals as well, is that like that shit is it's just grimy as fuck.
Yeah, you guys are fucking crazy, man. Like I watch footage of like artists that I like. I'll see them in their tours and shit. And the fucking crowd, everyone's just jumping high as fuck.
Bro, it's crazy. And like,
crazy movie.
if you go to these places, like there's fucking these festivals as well. There's just giant like Rick and Morty fucking like blow up dolls just like flying through the crowd and shit. And it's like, well, how the fuck is that there and that? And it's just crazy. People really turn up as well. You see that when you perform as well. People. Yeah,
I'm yet to find out because like for myself, come through. I think like honestly, I don't think people in the US get down like that. I don't think.
Really?
I don't think
in like shows and shit. No, they do.
I don't think so, man. Like, I mean, they do. I mean, I've been to ASAP Rocky and.
Wow, you lucky man.
Motherfucker, it was pretty crazy, but like.
Yeah.
I mean, I see your guys' crowds though. I seen the videos.
I was at
the thing is about
Travis
UK,
Scott last
like
year,
you guys.
And
what's up?
The photos fucking mad. I was at Travis Scott at last year, like at Reading, and it was just like probably about 2 weeks and a half after Astro World had come out, and like so it was like peak like Travis Scott. Everyone was like, "Whoa,
dude, that's crazy." That's shit to talk about, and at Reading too. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, no, and I was just with my mates and shit, and everyone was just like the fucking crowds, man. It was just like that feeling of like 1,000 people just moving all together. it's like it's pretty fucking disgusting, but like it's just crazy though. I love it, man.
The thing is, I've noticed. I don't know, maybe you could debunk this, but like crowds here and crowds there are different in this aspect. For one, is that over here, every motherfucker in the crowd will use their phone to film the actual event. But you guys, not a single fucking phone is out in the crowd. I noticed that. Yeah,
it was crazy.
You guys actually enjoy those festivals and concerts still like it's 90 fucking 6.
Yeah, real shit. I don't know.
How do you explain that?
I used to. Well, I don't know. I think I don't know. It's like maybe something which has happened more recently because I've been going to like gigs and shit for about 4 years now, and I kind of used to be like, oh no, of course I'm gonna be filming this entire shit. Like, how can I not just be able to like replay it over and over again? But now it's like nah, man, you got to just be there and just like watch it and absorb it and shit, because you're only gonna be watching that like shitty, shaky fucking video on your phone for like a few more times after and that, and it's not even that good. And it's really about just like absorbing it, and like fucking taking it all in, and just like looking at the artist and just like being in the presence of that shit, and everyone sharing it. It's something crazy about it, man. Something beautiful.
That right there is the fucking highlight of this podcast right there. Like, I'm not even fucking with you right now. Like, those words right there. That's a lot. That
Trust.
right there is what a lot of motherfucking people over here need to hear. Like, that's what we need to hear
Yeah,
right now,
man.
because
honestly, like listen to that shit, because like it's just, I don't know, it's just something it's something which I've like changed to do. Like, I definitely did not do that shit before. I didn't think about it like that before.
Right.
But now it's like nah, it's clear to me now.
That's awesome, man. Like, that's honestly really pure for sure right there.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm glad you fucked with that, dude. Yeah,
man. That's something I'm gonna fucking think about for sure, and I want to tell that to people. But
that's crazy.
That's the most exciting thing to this whole thing, at least on my end, is because once this shit does get to a point where
once it starts popping off, yeah.
Even before then, that, like, man, fuck all that. And it's like, even when I fucking just go over there, if it's this year or early next year, like, that's gonna be the shit, and we'll do events.
Yeah,
that's gonna be fucking crazy. I'm really excited to see what it's like over there. Just feel the energy of everyone over there.
It's crazy. This is kind of got me thinking, like, because like I literally see it. I see it now. Like, I see it really clearly and shit. The sort of paths that like both of us will take and shit. So, when it all like starts happening, and that, like, I don't know, I see it like there's this thing in my head as well, which I've been thinking about, like the US versus the UK as well, as that, and it's I don't know what you say about this, dude. It's interesting to me. It almost seems like it would be, it's sort of stupid, because it seems like me almost like it would be a bit easier for like someone doing something in London. It's a much sort of smaller space than the US as well. Like, you kind of have like it can spread much quicker in that little sort of area than if you're like kind of spreading it over like an entire country. Or would you say like, oh, it's about sort of spreading it in your state as well, and then kind of it like spreads to that? Or what would you say about that?
Oh, that's a fucking interesting thing, because I was just kind of like thinking about that today, as far as like, that's honestly something I've been thinking about for a good period of time now, and it's actually some conversation me and a friend of mine had.
Really?
Where like, there's like that thought, okay, like, do I want to be here trying to do it here and trying to like, would it do better if I just stay here and try to like fucking make it happen right here?
Yeah.
Or over there?
I mean, of course,
I think it's important to, like, obviously it's important to stick to your roots, stay where you're at, trying to make it happen here first, and especially for people that are just starting out and growing, like someone for me, like me, for example. I'll just say it in my perspective. My perspective, it's like, it's important that I'm here trying to do my thing and trying to get everyone that's around me and my surroundings to know and be following what I'm doing. And especially for me, because like, I mean, I'm not fucking rich. I'm not posh, or like how you guys say like posh or whatever. Like, I'm fucking, just getting by and trying to,
of course.
It's like I can only do so much to what I have. And it's like, it's important to do that. But then again, it's also important that even in the early days, just to fucking go over there and just make some shit happen, like, and it's just to say, definitely. And it's just to say I did it. A lot of people think I'm fucking crazy for the thought of that, but it's like, fuck it. Like, Japan, fuck it, I'll go. Okay, fuck it, I'm going. Like, early on, it's like, fuck it, just let's do it. Like, I don't need a record deal or some fucking number one. It's about to tell me like, oh yeah. What
people care about is heart, man. It seems to me, like, through your music as well, that you got plenty of that, and you just need to like keep building that and spreading it. And I know that, like, for each of us, it'll happen like soon, I believe.
Yeah, and I think like, so my perspective is like, it's key to like work with what you have that's in front of you, your surroundings that are right there, because a lot of people want to do this, but they want to. They feel like they need to be in New York, or they feel like they need to be in LA. When it's like, okay, we'll start
London.
where you're at first, and then move on. Like there's a famous guy, not famous, but like he's a professor in the U.S. and his name is Jordan Peterson.
Oh yeah, no. I I know about Jordan Peterson. Yeah.
Yeah, and he has a saying where he would talk to people. He would talk to people that are trying to make change, that are trying to really go out there and shoot for something. And he asked them like, "Oh, like, well, do you make your bed or whatever?"
Yeah.
They're like, no, like whatever, like blow it off. And he's like, well, how the fuck are you gonna be out here trying to change the world and you can't even make your fucking bed?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like my analogy to like this shit is like, you gotta make your bed first. Like where you're at, where you're starting out at, make your fucking bed, then get out there. And that's how I feel about.
Dude, that's the highlight, man. I feel you. It's just like, honestly, that's like, because it's just important to build it up step by step, of course, to like make sure you just have that what's it called? I don't know, just like enough groundwork in like for yourself to sort of be able to build it up and keep achieving new things as well.
Yeah, the foundation.
Like, of course, that's the one. And because then like I think it's impossible to sort of just try and like leap for it out of nowhere. You have to kind of it's a matter of like building up like a pyramid, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly like that. And that's why it's like for you, it's like if you wanted to come to the US, I'd say just do it. If you want to go anywhere, just do it.
Yes, of course.
Also just make what you have like worthwhile as well.
I think it's sick. I think it's sick what you say about you going to like Japan as well and like all over the world, because it's like it's just about kind of making connections all over, so that when shit does start to like pop as well, there's people who can say, oh yeah, I've heard about him, and they're over in fucking like Japan or whatever. Like that's important.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Important thing.
And that's why,
and then they can spread it like that. It's sick.
It's like that's why I have those like that's why I cherish this connection that we have, the connection I have with my friend.
Me too, man.
Because it's like, and all his people over there, and you know, if there's people that from where you're at, they start supporting me, whatever. But like, like that means a lot to me, because it's like there's only a certain amount of people where I live at that are gonna fuck with me or like want to support me and watch everything I do, whatever. Like, there's only gonna be so many people that are, and it's at those times when I'm like, damn, man, there's only a fucking few good people. Then I get hit up by you or like Shunji, and I'm like, you know what? Never mind. I'm on my shit. I shouldn't even be worrying right now.
Honestly, like that's actually that's incredibly like poignant for me too. Actually, I don't know. Like, I've got like I don't know. I've got like a few like really like strong mates here and that who are like really, that they're mates that they've got your back as well.
Right, and, exactly.
And then there's, you hear these things about people who sort of almost like they start to kind of, as they start to see you succeed and shit, you start to like wonder like, are you actually like so for this, or are you kind of thinking, I don't know, like I don't like this. Are you actually here? Are you actually here for me when I start to like do shit, or are you kind of like not for it,
Right.
And it's just, and I know, and it's like, I know that I've got people who will stand by me in that, but like what's so crucial about connections like these, bro, between me and you is that we both like understand and are there like to support each other as well.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Because like that's how we connected in the first place.
Exactly. And like the thing is, we're passionate about. We're the biggest fucking example of like the good in modern technology.
Yeah.
Like, no question. There's a lot of shit talk that goes around about phones and like Instagram and bullshit like that, all that.
Yeah,
but at the same time, like the benefits to it, this is the fucking example right here. And to the people that know me and are like, yo, man, like you fucking post too much, or why the fuck you it's like just watch me in a couple years. That's all I gotta say. Yeah,
of course, bro.
It all adds up and it makes sense. It's all for a reason. It's like
Yeah, I think it's so sick that we've done this like podcast as well finally, because
dude, we've been talking about this for a fucking long time.
Fucking months. I swear to you. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. No, honestly, thank you so much for having me on, bro. Genuinely.
Dude, yeah, it's been fucking real, like, to have you on here and finally like get to know a lot of shit, like a lot of layers. Like, get to know a little bit about you and shit. So that's what's up, man. I really appreciate you taking the time. It's fucking midnight over there. It's 4:46 over here.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Are we? Yeah. Wait, bro. Are we still on?
Yeah, I could barely hear you for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh shit! No, it's cool. It's cool. It's my fault. But yeah, bro. Like, no, for me too. It's been like this. It's been fucking like really really good. So thank you very much for having me,
man.
Bro.
So we'll have you on any fucking time you want. Anytime you want to come back on and we'll talk some more shit, we can always do that.
Yeah, appreciate you. All right, G.
All right, man. You have a good night. It's been real.
You too, man. You have a good day.
Fucking go. Thanks, everybody.